Ladies and gentlemen, we're up at the off-road shop. AJ thought I was gonna say, all right guys, this truck right here, get your phone, behind us, 1998 GMC 2500 single rear wheel, looks exactly the same way it did when it rolled in. Other than a little different hood. But other than that, the truck looks pretty much exactly the way it did when it rolled into the shop. This came from a very long-term friend of mine, as well as my brothers as well. As they met his goofy self over the years, you kind of attract yourself to him. But this was his pride and joy, loves red, and said, I got a task. I got a plan, I got an idea. Well, we didn't want to do it unless he did it all. And Brian has been tirelessly wrenching on this truck for quite some time. Daniel constantly ordering parts. Thankfully, I was able to source the heart under the hood, which was extremely hard to get. It was one of the very first ones to be able to be gotten. And now it is a fire-breathing monster. So we'll see if we can interrupt. Brian's trying to get some customer trucks in and out and under the gun. So hopefully Daniel will have a few minutes to interrupt and let him go through all the details of what this build consisted of, how it came out. And you guys, especially if you're local, you will see this around. Hopefully you don't see it on the back of a tow truck broken, but this man will test it to its limits to see how it's going to turn out. So hang tight. We'll see if we can get him out of the office.
What's up guys? Daniel, Davis Off-Road here, Richmond, Virginia. Got the farm truck ready to be picked up, out here parked, waiting on the customer. He's going to take it to an event this weekend and debut it. Kind of got off this for a little while, got back on it, finished it up, and we'll take y'all through everything that this thing got, all the upgrades, the motor, what it all took to do it, and how it turned out. So let's start off with the main meats and potatoes. GM ZZ 632, tall deck motor, shoehorned in here. These trucks, if you know anything about 88 to 98s, the drivetrain is actually slightly offset in the frame rails, so that made it very difficult to get this hog of a motor down in there. But it happened. I actually ended up having to change some things on the front differential and got it shoehorned down in there with some nice tight motor mounts. 2 3/8 full stainless custom built headers that are actually inside the frame, which didn't think that was going to be able to happen, but pulled off a little miracle there. It's got a Holley dual 480 liter per hour pumps in the tank out back with a big Holley return regulator on it. We ended up having to do a full cow hood and make it functional because most cow hoods have brace in there. Had to make that functional just to get it to clear with a super low profile filter base. And I know they make intakes and everything for this, but we didn't want to do away with what just came out the crate. Got a full March serpentine pulley set up on it. Big heavy core aluminum radiator with dual electric fans. Full factory Hydro Boost hooked up for the best brakes and steering possible. It is a fuel injected motor straight from GM with the Terminator X system. And really the big thing on this, everybody goes, well, that's kind of a waste of a motor. Well, let's think about that. What do you put a 632 in that people wouldn't call a waste? You put it in a 69 Camaro, then the people call that a waste of a car. You put it in this truck, they call it a waste of a truck, call it a waste of a motor. It really all depends on what the person wants. If this guy wants to buy this motor and put it in this truck, cool beans, let's do it. We don't discriminate about what you put in it. He could have brought a Mazda Miata and said, I want to put it in. We wouldn't have told him any different. So this motor makes 1,000 horsepower advertised. Every dyno pull we've seen has made 1,100. So it's a beast. And the other big thing is everybody goes, well, there goes the rest of the drivetrain. Joke's on those guys. Full built case turbo 400, gear to gear Ford NP205, full billet upgraded on that with the upgraded front output and rear output. 1410 series U-joints, 1350 on the front, 1410 in the back, full drive shaft encapsulations on it. Everything is built to the hilt on this. 14 bolt full float in the back, which this truck actually had from the get-go. Got a Detroit and a gear, everything upgraded on that as well. I would say if this thing had a weak link, it would be the IFS front diff, but everything at factory angles. The truck is not lifted, it's not leveled. It's got a decent tire and wheel. It's got a 16 by 12 with a 33 with no lift on it. That's the look he wanted. He wanted kind of that pull truck, sand drag truck look, and that's what he ended up with. And the end goal was to make this truck look exactly like it did when it showed up, but make 1,000 horsepower and be reliable. That's what he got. So we also added the traction bars on the back, 2-inch 250 wall, 1.25" Heim traction bars to keep the rear in place. Just went all out on it, guys. The interior stayed full stock, other than, let's go to the other side so you can actually see it. We did put an M&M shifter in it, which is a nitrous capable air shifter, and it got the full Holley big screen Pro Dash in it. That way he can keep it under control. He can take a look at all his vitals. The boy that owns this truck is a really good friend of ours, and he'll be the first to tell you he don't pay attention to much when you get in there, so you got to make it 100% like factory to where he doesn't really have to worry about anything. So that's why we did the shifter like that. That's why we did all the gauges like that. He kind of started off one of the old school auto meters and make a billet dash with all those, but I told him this was the new wave. You can change the gauges as needed to show him what he wants. But he's getting ready to go put it to the test. We've put a couple of miles on it. The truck rides and drives amazing. Pulls about 2,600 at 60 mile an hour, which is a little aggressive, but not anything crazy to not have overdrive. Converter is flashing perfect in it, and he's gonna hurt some feelings in this thing, guys. It's not much of a sleeper when you fire it up, but it definitely doesn't look like much when it's sitting there. So I think we hit the nail on the head, and he's gonna be real happy with this thing.
Go ahead and start it.
We'll leave you with a little taste of what it ended up like. If that don't do it for you guys, I'm not sure what will.
You can't hear the sound as good through the TV, but it is pretty freaking amazing. Like, it's not much you can buy out of a box that's been tested, dyno proven, comes with a warranty, as what this does. It is amazing. And
Not your average crate motor, for sure.
No, not at all. Did you tell them about the fuel tank?
We did end up running a rear fuel tank in between the frame rails, and we put a bid fill in it. Obviously, you guys have seen our square body stuff that we do where we tail light fill and everything. That's not really an option on these trucks. And I did not want to go away from the factory fuel tank, but with 4-inch stainless exhaust running down through there, it was just a plumbing nightmare. Everything was on top of each other. So to get the tank out the way, get it back here, it was just the better fit for this one particular truck. So very happy with the way this turned out, guys. It's been a team effort through all of us, and I'm sure you'll see a video of the new owner. He's a wild man, and this is a perfect fit for him. He's gonna have a good time. Thanks for watching, guys. Davis Offroad, Richmond, Virginia.